my name is Brandi. I'm from the state of Georgia in the U.S. I am 22 years old and I worked in the dental clinic here in the hospital in Samana.
And my name is Tom Phelps. I'm 23 years old. I worked in Las Pascuales, which is a town that's just outside of Samana, in a dental clinic as well.
I really enjoyed getting to see the differences between dentistry in the States and here in the third world setting.
In the dental clinic in Las Pascuales, the facilities weren't as nice as you would find in a private practice in Samana or just in any city in general. It's all funded by the government, and so government money and allocations go to certain things, and so the clinics aren't really as well funded as they should be to do a range of dental procedures. So in Las Pascuales, the clinic that I was in, we only did cleanings and extractions. So we would alternate every other day. Monday, Wednesday, Friday we would pull teeth, and Tuesday, Thursday we would clean them. And that's what we did for every single patient that came in. We would clean the teeth or we would extract them based on what their needs were.
The experience as a couple was actually really, really great. It's our first time ever traveling out of the United States for both of us, so it was a good learning experience. I would definitely recommend it.
Yes.
To other couples. You learn a lot about yourself and a lot about the other person. It's always good to see someone in a stressful situation to see how they would react, you know, to different situations where you have to adapt. So I would say it's been a very valuable experience for not only us individually but also for us as a couple, I would say.
No, I agree.
Do you agree?
I agree. I concur.
Concur.
It was a great experience for the both of us, you know. Never being outside of the U.S., you kind of get used to some sort of comfort zone that you have. And just being in your own sort of neck of the woods that's familiar to you. And taking yourself out of that comfort zone, learning about other people, seeing how people from a different country or nation, a cultural background interact with you. It's really cool to see that and just see how way of life in general is different here than it is in the States. So it's very rewarding.
Yeah. I think Aldeas is a great organization. I have no complaints. I was very pleasantly surprised by the fact that all the volunteers are very involved with each other. I didn't feel isolated at all. Even not knowing people when I first got here, I felt very welcomed. There was always someone there to say, let's go get dinner, or, you know, how's your day going? And that was very, very valuable, especially to me, never having been anywhere but the U.S. So yeah, I very much liked getting to meet the other volunteers. I felt like that was one of my favorite parts of the entire experience.
Yeah.
Even though there's so many favorite parts, but the other volunteers were great.
Yeah, the organization in itself is very, very good. It's doing some really great things here in Samana. From the school to the different English classes for the doctors that they've started up recently.
Yeah.
I mean, we're working in dental clinics, and you have other healthcare volunteers, that are working in the hospital, and it's all very good work. You know, it's all very rewarding as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's doing good. You know, I think it's doing a lot of good for the people.
I tried. I tried to learn a lot of Spanish. I didn't know any Spanish when I first got here. I put down that I was basic conversationalist because I thought I was basic conversationalist, but it turns out I wasn't. Knowing a few words doesn't make you basic conversational. But the Spanish lessons really helped. I loved the teacher, Elson. He was awesome. I feel like I learned quite a bit being here. It's the initial, you have to build up your confidence, I think, was my main hurdle. It's so hard to try to speak another language when you feel so silly at first because you just feel like you're doing everything wrong. So the lessons really helped me in that, like building my confidence to actually attempt to speak to people. And I mean, now I can I can get around, you know.
Yeah.
I can order food. That was exciting. I was just excited when I could order a meal on my own. So yeah, I feel like I've learned a lot. Would you say the same?
Yeah, I feel like I've learned quite a bit throughout the 1 month that we've been here.
Yeah, a lot in 1 month.
Yeah, Spanish classes have been helpful. Elson, he's great. I really like Elson. And he's a good teacher, and he's funny. He keeps it entertaining. Sometimes when you're just in one setting for 2 hours, it can get boring, but I never felt like my attention, was lost during the course of the duration of the lesson. I always felt like we were doing something, and he had my attention, and it was fun, and it was interactive. And I feel like I did learn, quite a bit in the time that we were here. So, Spanish lessons are good.
For somebody to volunteer here, I think it's a great experience. I know that I've learned obviously so much about the culture here, but also so much about myself. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. It's good just to get out of your comfort zone. The one thing I would probably say is that when we signed up for a month, and we thought that sounded like such a long time. 4 weeks away, but it's flown by so fast.
Yeah, very quick.
Yeah, very fast. So if you were interested in actually learning more Spanish and stuff, I would definitely say maybe go for a longer trip. That's the only suggestion I think I would make. But other than that, I would say go for it. Wouldn't you? I've learned so much being here.
If you're considering it, I feel like it's a really good option. Really getting to expose yourself into a new culture. And it's almost sort of like an immersion project as well. Just because it's not like you have, a facility that's set up for just like where volunteers hang out. You're within the community, you're staying in apartments within the city, and interacting with the people who, the people who own the shops, like within your apartment. So like the little store that's below our apartment, same lady who I guess is in charge of our apartment. The
landlady.
The landlady, whatever.
You're just constantly in the community all the time.
Yeah.
And I loved that about Aldeas de Paz.
Yeah.
It was more than I was expecting on that aspect, just being able to kind of live like a local almost for the entire month. It was great.
Yeah. I don't know, the best memory, there's so many good memories to choose from, it's hard to pick out just the single best. So, going to 27 Charcos, the 27 waterfalls, that was awesome. That was a really cool experience. I think just getting to meet the other volunteers and building friendships and relationships with people who you wouldn't encounter in everyday life, that was amazing. I've come out of this experience with friends that I'll have for the rest of my life, which I didn't know would be something I would get out of this experience, especially being here for only a month. It's not a very long time to sort of build a relationship like that. But when you're with all these people and you're experiencing the same thing, you're all working for something bigger than yourselves, you build these relationships quick, and it's going to be something that I'll remember for the rest of my life. Just the people that I've met here, just been so great.
Yeah.